Guys, we are live. It is, I think it's Tuesday. It's feeling a little bit mixed bag here at the moment. We've got 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 down 10% today on Banter Bubbles. Dots -2, BCH a little bit red. So we got a mixed bag here. Some green, some red. Did we shoot our shot too early? Is this big move over? There's a lot of questions we need to ask ourselves here. Yesterday, we did get a nice little BTC pullback, and the alts responded very nicely. BTC bounced a little bit lower than what we were looking for, but it did give us a nice move, and it gave these alts a bit of a slingshot, and it helped us with some of our positions. I'm still sitting in a SOL position at the moment, which I'm trying to build on pullbacks. David is joining us today. We've got Bruce joining us. David's been long spell. I'm going to let him tell you about that. I think he's got a short brewing there. I'm sitting in a MATIC position as well over here, which we're going to talk about shortly. I'll tell you my strategy behind it and what I'm playing. GRT, I'm also working on a possible entry here on GRT. So yeah, we're going to get stuck into it now. We're first going to start with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but let's just bring in David and Bruce here. David, welcome. It's morning for David, so bright and early for him.
Good morning.
Bruce is here as well. What's happening, guys?
Everything.
So you smashed it on the spell long. That did you put it on the Discord, Dave?
Yes, I did. And shout out to whoever brought that to my attention on Friday.
Nice. Okay, I think it was in the chats here, guys. I think people were talking about spell in the chat. So guys, keep it coming through. Whatever you're seeing out there, you know, we've got eyes everywhere, but we don't have eyes everywhere. So if you see something blowing up, please just drop it in the chat. I see our locals are joining us again, guys. It's so nice. All the same faces here joining us. Hello, everybody. It's good to have you guys here. And yeah, to the new guys, basically what you get from us, we smash BTC quickly, we look where we're sitting, and then we dive straight into alt setups. We got long shorts, we look at 4-hour, 8-hour daily setups. Sometimes we look at 15-minute setups and things like that. We've also got some indicator action going, and a lot of the stuff you see here is available on the Banter Discord, guys, so you can jump straight back into the Banter Discord and see what we're up to if you miss some of this. Right, guys, let's take a look at BTC quickly and see what the story is and try and just make sense of what's happening. So yesterday we were looking for a little pullback, but we didn't want it to go too deep. I was watching this area over here, guys. This 26.8 was quite a big area for me. We did dip a little bit lower, but we had that nice trend support here, just holding things up for us a little bit, and that brought those alts down so nicely into those supports we were talking about. We saw loads of these alts put us under pressure, but again, when we get those dips, those are the entries we want when we're feeling super uncomfortable, and we nailed those ones and they've absolutely ripped. So it's been quite a good few hours for us. BTC did print a new high now, as you can see here. This is the 4-hour, but it wasn't very convincing. I did want to see a slightly bigger move here on BTC, but so far the pullback that they gave us has bounced. So I am interested in various things. As long as BTC is holding this sort of area, I'm quite comfortable where some of the alts are. If we start losing this level for BTC, then these alts are going to start rolling over. We're going to start losing those supports that we've now broken on some of these alts, like MATIC, for example. It's broken nicely. We want MATIC to hold now. With any BTC pullback, we want MATIC to hold there. If BTC loses this trend, loses this 618 horizontal area, I suspect we're going to start losing some supports on these alts. And then those bears that we saw on Sheldon's show this morning, there were a couple of bears there. Then their shorts are going to start printing. But, right now we're playing what's in front of us. And what's in front of us is BTC on support, holding, bouncing. Some alts have broken trend, looking for supports now. And, we're trying to build a couple of positions here. We're trying to scalp what we can. So let's just deal with Solana quickly. Little brief SOL update here. Sheldon and I are both sitting in Solana at the moment. I've been building this position for a while now, and any deeper pullbacks I get on Solana, I think I'm going to be adding to this position. The reason I like it now is we've got this big horizontal support section here that I'm watching, and as long as we hold this area over here for me down to even call it 19, even 19.1, 19.2, that sort of area. I'm quite happy to load up here on Sol and add to my position. I do want to see it push up. There's the 200-day MA where there's an alarm for you guys on Discord, is waiting for you. Then we've got another area up there that I'm looking at around 22. So if Sol does pull back, no time to stress. No, you know, you don't have to get concerned until we start losing this 19.2 to 19 area. We start losing that, different game we're playing then guys, then BTC might be in a little bit of trouble. So yeah, down to that area, I'm happy. Let's take a look at MATIC. Earlier today, I saw MATIC pushing into this resistance area. This is the MATIC 4-hour, guys. This was an old support area. So as you can see, we were pushing into this old support area. It was resistance, 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 and now it's popped. And you know, if you guys watch us on these lives, you know how much we love an SR flip. So we've popped this old resistance. Now we want to see it come back and hold support. Anywhere in this region over here is interesting for me. So, you know, this for me is going to tee MATIC up to send it to the next, to the range high here at 0.567. That sort of level. So I'm looking to buy any further pullbacks on MATIC, as long as it's not too deep and as long as we're not losing this trend. I'm looking for any pullbacks on MATIC to load up here. And again, I'm going to tie it in nicely with BTC. If BTC is holding its areas and not losing major areas or major trends, I think these alts should be okay and they should hold their areas. If BTC starts dipping, we lose these levels and then we reassess how we look at things. Here's GRT. I've been keeping my eyes on GRT and I keep missing an entry, but I'm starting to get very interested. It's looking pretty bullish these days, and if BTC starts moving, I think GRT needs to be one of the ones I have in my bag for a longer move. So where am I looking for entries on GRT? Well, at the moment we can see this is a major resistance zone that we've tried to break here, and now we have printed a new high. So it would be lovely if we could grab this area here, the 0.088 I'm looking at. I'm interested in that, but there's obviously a chance that we get a dip lower. So how do I manage that? I'm looking at this 382 lower down. You can see, guys, I've pulled a 382 from this low over here to this high from earlier today, and that's one of the areas I'm interested as a possible pullback area. And then the next region, I'm looking at this support. So much lower than that, not that interested. Ideally, we want to see this move over there. We do have the backup 382, and then the 0.084 is something to watch. Okay, cool, guys. So I also have a couple more in front of me. But first, let's. I want to jump into the 𝗕𝗏𝗍 situation with Dave quickly, because Dave might have a short here teed up for us. What's happening here on 𝗕𝗏𝗍, Dave?
Yeah, can you guys hear me? My headphones.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yep.
There's no echo or anything. Okay.
Sounds good.
Right. Get to the chart. Cool, you guys can see that?
Guys, and it's important to note, Rodolfo is here watching and he's wearing a black t-shirt. So Rodolfo,
Okay.
welcome to the team. I'm glad you're wearing the right outfit. You've got the right uniform. Let me add Dave's screen. There it is. Okay. Dave, you're on. Your screen is live.
Cool.
Luba's loving our music as well, so that's good to hear.
So if you guys look at the Discord, like Friday, somebody asked me to chart it, drew some trend lines. One of the trend lines held temporarily, but over the weekend, both trend lines failed. And at that point, that's where I was really looking for an entry. Those trend lines, they looked good, but I did not enter the position until Sunday. So one of the things that's incredible is just the way fibs work, right? We talk about it all the time, but you can see here from the bottom to the top of that first breakout, this was the 618, that little region. You guys can see these two yellow marks. That's like the region area I talked about last week. And so if you take a look at this one, same thing. Look at the bottom to the top, and you can see here, this is where I was identifying the setup. So let me just zoom in here for you guys. So this is where I was looking at, but I saw this order block down here, and so I kind of drew this out that if we can get to this order block, that's probably the scenario I'm looking for. But I did enter the position because we were at that 618 region, and I was ready to add more if it came down here. It didn't come down. It reacted immediately off that 618. And I saw that the position, not a crazy size position, 9x leverage, nothing insane, but it was already well into profits. And then yesterday I looked at it, and it was pretty high up there. But you can see here it came back down to, I would assume market makers were wiping out the longs, but again reacted perfectly on the 618. Right, so you can see here, as soon as it touched the 618, a massive move to the upside. I also talked about on the Discord that I was looking for it to go past the moving average, and I was looking at this order block, and I had an alert set here, and it went off. But right now, Bitcoin is kind of in a bullish, has some bullish momentum. I'm looking at some new targets, 27.7. But what I am looking for here on Spell is for it to come again into this resistance area, maybe dance around a little bit, and then come down. So I'm not in the short yet. I'm still in the long. I would like for it to push up some more. That's probably where I'll close the position. Right now, that position's over 200%. I already took half off the board. And let's just see how it goes.
Okay, nice. So no short just yet. We're waiting, we're watching. We want a second visit to those highs, and we want to see what type of reaction we get up there. Is that a good way to sort of summarize how we're dealing with the Spell situation?
Yes, and here's, you guys can see this order block appearing on the 4 hour. It's getting eaten up. It says 1%. But if you guys look at this area here, this is kind of, a resistance spot. So if it can go past it, I think the next block is pretty high up here. Maybe that's it. Yeah. So yeah, that's just what we're dealing with. And if we can catch this short, I'd like for it to at least 20% move back down. Let me see.
Okay. So while we're talking shorts, guys, I picked up another one that's starting to look interesting to me as well. A possible short setup we can wait for. It might take a day or three. So
yeah, I'll pass it back to you.
Let me pull up a short that I've got my eyes on. You guys can set your alarms on it. This one is not on the Banter Discord currently. This is GMX. It is something I've been watching. This is GMX daily. So those of you that are looking at shorts, you can see GMX is looking pretty bullish at the moment. But I have started noticing the last couple of days we've been having massive reactions at this 50-day MA. It used to always be the 200-day MA that was like running the show for us. And I'm seeing things like Link. I'm seeing some of these other tokens having proper reactions and using this 50-day MA as support or rejection areas. So GMX is something I'm watching, and the reason I like it as a potential short is you can see this is a resistance zone that we identified before. We had this double top situation over here. We lost this level, but now we're pushing back very aggressively into the same resistance band. And I've also got this 50-day MA leaning down here, and I've got this trend. So I'm going to put an alarm here in this area for GMX. I've got my eyes on this as something I need to consider here, guys. So this, to me, at around 38 to 39 is an area where we could potentially be looking for shorts. And again, doesn't mean it necessarily has to go to zero. If this market turns bullish, GMX is a DEX, it should do well. But we could get a nice reaction there. Even if it's a pullback to a 382 or a 618, it's going to be a decent size move. And then the bulls can come back into play. Once we break this trend, once we find support, the bulls are back in the game, and we can send it higher. So right now, for me, the only trade I'm seeing on GMX, especially on the daily time frame, is a reaction here and a potential short. Other than that, we need to break this resistance, break the trend, break the 50-day MA, find support like the way Link has, for example, which I'll show you shortly, and then we can load up on some longs again on GMX. So yeah, that's my short plan, GMX, guys. Bruce, what have you got there? What have you got going at the moment?
I'm also just adding on to Sol on that last pullback. I'm totally with you on that one. And then I've got Tomo, TRB, and possibly another entry into UNFI.
Do you want to? Take us through this UNFI. You traded that really well yesterday. I think you called it on our session. Yep. There was a potential break. Let me get your screen up here.
Yeah, so yesterday we called this entrance right there. It was pretty straightforward. It had been having around support, and then called it basically right at support. Could have entered on the break right over there, and I was looking forward to basically come up to this level to break, and it did break that level right over there a little bit, and then of course retreated back. So we picked up there we go. So we were able to pick up about 4.5% off of that, and so that was a nice little trade. It fought me a little bit on that candle to get the entrance, but the setup was valid, so we tried it again and it worked. Now I'm looking actually again, because right now it has come right into the golden zone. It pumped up, rejected off there, come into the golden zone, and it's got pretty much 2 doji candles, or actually 1 doji candle. It's looking like it's about to reverse, so I'm going to watch really closely to see if this thing breaks this trend line right there. Hang on a sec. Something in that range right over there. Stop can give it a little bit of room over here because it's not that big a move. But something like that. And the reason I'm trying to get this entrance is because, and this I think my number 1 indicator will be Bitcoin, because if we scale this out, the move I really want to get on this is the one that's just sitting in front of us, which is this, right? So this range is where it's been for a long time, and we're dabbling down here and all happy with that. But what I'd love to see is Bitcoin be bullish enough that we can pick up that move. So I'm basically hunting for an entrance that'll get us pushed up above this consolidation down there. And once we do, we should be pretty free to come all the way up to the 9065 level or so. That'd be ideal.
Okay. So can you just zoom in for everybody and just give them the entry number you're looking at there? I couldn't quite see it on the screen.
A bit closer. So I'm looking at right now, right about now, which would be 7.67.
Okay, so 7.67 is the entry region that you're looking at.
And I would give it about a 1.5%, maybe even closer to 2%, which is rare for me. Stop on it. And our goal and our objective on this trade is not this under here. Our goal is that we break above 785. I'll post this chart because then we don't hit any resistance until here, which is at 8465, right? So if we break above this, we should be pretty selling at least to here, and then I'm hoping we can make it up to there.
Okay, so guys, Bruce is going to drop that in the Banter Discord.
Yep.
So you should be able to get that there. Simon is not here with us today, but I see he's in the comments. He did mention before we went live that he's eyeing out a XRP short on the 4 hour. So that's quite a nice size time frame. I'm just looking at his chart that he sent me here. So he was using his magical indicators. He wasn't using the regular TA here, and he likes the look of an XRP short. Looks like anything up to about 0.52 to 0.53. So Simon, let us know in the chat if that sounds about right. And his chart is available in the Banter Discord as well, guys. You can check it out there. So it's an XRP short that he's waiting for on the 4 hour. Simon, let us know if I got that right for you there. Dave says Gareth is long XRP. Well, we got shorts and longs now, guys. Someone's coming out on top. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out in the next few hours. Crypto Jam says Spell has been flying. Yes, Spell has been flying. So if you're bullish on Spell, you can start looking for flags on lower time frames and things like that. That move up to where Dave's short is looking might be a few percent as well. It's something you can consider. Luba says I look like a banter DJ. You must see, like I spin a mouse wheel, not the decks. Unfortunately, there is a real DJ here, guys. David is a DJ, so we'll get some of his music on these sessions as well for you. Somebody wants to know the Discord link. It's the Crypto Banter Hub, the Discord. There should be a link in this description. If not, we'll make sure we've got it here for you guys by tomorrow, but it should be there. Okay, so let's go through a few more charts and setups. I want to show you things that are interesting to me that I'm seeing around here. And there's a question, David. Are we still long Gala? Has anything changed there? Are we still holding that?
It's just sitting around. I'm still there.
Yeah.
Okay, so no reason to exit yet, guys, on Gala. It hasn't, for example, printed new lows or anything like that. It's still on the table. If this market wants to move, Gala should eventually do its thing. Okay, this is Rose. I just found this interesting. We're seeing a lot of situations like this on daily timeframes where we're getting major trends broken, and then we're seeing a few of these other alts that are lagging. Just something interesting that I'm picking up on a lot of these altcoins. This 50-day MA, guys, is acting as a reaction zone now. Seems to be a lot more than what it was doing a few weeks ago. Maybe it's just me that I'm paying more attention to it, but it's something I'm noticing. So look for guys that are maybe a little bit behind, and you can use that 50-day MA as a target. And then once we claim that that level, we can look at it as support. So for example, let's look at Link. You can see Link push straight into this 50-day MA over here. This is the Link 4 hour, and use that as support. Look at that. We had 2 support bounces on the 50-day MA. Now it's broken up, and now it's dancing around the 200-day MA. So these two are coming into play nicely again, and it might be a good sign for us. So one of the tokens I picked up was Band. I literally know nothing about this thing fundamentally. I know it's an old shitcoin, but what I can give you fundamentally is I don't even know what it does, other than I'm looking at this chart and it's putting pressure on this 50-day MA and trend. So when I see things like this, I start looking for situations where you get a pop, and it kind of blows through these areas quite aggressively and then comes back and settles down, and then we look at that as a support. So what I'm looking for here on Band is a little pop up, maybe a rejection at a horizontal. We'll still need to figure out which one, but I would say this looks like an area, then a retracement, and then the second move up. So there's something like that I'm watching. So again, you can go hunting on your charts and you can look for these type of things. You're going to see a lot of these laggers. You know, some of them are front running these situations, but then some are lagging behind that you can try and take advantage of. Let's just take a look at Fantom again quickly. So Fantom again has been sleeping. I know, you know, people have been shorting the hell out of this thing, guys. And I think we're going to have a similar situation to Solana at some point when things start turning here, that you're going to have shorts closing very quickly on the way up, and we could get some type of squeeze situation. So don't discard Fantom. Keep it on your watch list. Those of you that are on Discord, I've got an alarm set for you at 0.196. That's an area we want to look for. We want to see that trend break. Then the bulls want to see it pull back and find support here, and then we want to push Fantom up to 0.218, that sort of region. So keep your eyes on this thing. It might start behaving the way MATIC was behaving earlier, and we could get something out of that. Injective, guys, here's another example for you. The 50-day MA and 382 on this pull is acting as support here. So this could be a potential long region on these pullbacks into this area. If you're looking to get into Injective, you can follow this trend, look for supports here. Let's see what the 618 gives us on that pull. There's a little 618 lower down. We don't really want to lose this nice trend that we got going up here. So again, you're going to have to watch the BTC, but there is the 618 lower down. That is something to watch as a potential bounce, the 7.1 region. But right now, I'm liking what it's doing at this 50-day MA and the 382. Remember, guys, the best entries were always on these high, big reaction zones. If you didn't get your main entries for this move, you are now almost trying to play catch up now. So now we try to get second, I wouldn't say second rate, but they are slightly tougher entries. They're not like these perfect high reaction entries. So if we make a decision and we say this market is now still bullish, BTC is holding, now we can look for these alts when they pull back onto certain areas. So Injective is definitely something to watch, this 382 and this 618 region. Yes, we've got a request to see stacks. I think if BTC pumps, guys, you know how much Craig loves stacks. I think stacks is going to fly. Rodolfo says Band is similar to Link. Thanks for that. Z wants to know, is SHIB dead? I think if the market turns bullish, you might get some kind of SHIB revival. It's possible. I don't think it's dead, but I think there'd be new or other memes that people would want to trade. Lena, we're going to look at for you guys for sure. Blue Camel likes BLZ short. Maybe Dave can take us through that, because I know Dave is in a BLZ short, or he's looking at one there as well. The man's not scared of a short, Dave. I like it. I like it a lot. Maybe take us through this BLZ short situation you got here, Dave.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me present here again.
Your screen has disappeared again.
Yeah, give me a
I
second.
can bring it up. Okay, there we go. Cool. So yeah, tell us what you're doing here.
Okay, so I actually did enter a short, but I got stopped out. I had it at break even. But let me just kind of give you guys the macro look. So this actually came from Dylan originally. We were kind of up to this point when you drew it, but we're kind of in this parallel channel. And you guys may have recalled me talk about, this drawing here. I had a bullish scenario, and then I had a bearish scenario. The bullish scenario played out, but you can see in this parallel channel that we have wicks, and it comes back in. And one thing I noticed is that every time it comes back inside the parallel channel, it rejects and it tries to touch the very bottom. It's about a 20%, 25% dip. So if we take this little drawing here and duplicate it, same exact thing. Yeah, I'm looking for something like that potentially. So to me, this might be a deviation, and it comes back inside. I had an entry at 19,950. I pretty much caught the top, but then it just stopped me out right now. So yeah, I don't.
Are they pumping it again?
Well, I mean, so 19. So if I didn't set my stop loss at 19,950, I would still be in it. But just paying attention, if it comes back inside the range, this little parallel channel, that might be a good entry. But again, this is a very volatile coin. I would be very safe with your leverage.
Yeah.
Maybe 5x or something like that. But
the thing with BLZ,
it's interestingly, its price right now on the long higher time frame is exactly at its last high at August 24th, 2022. So exactly a year ago, a little over a year ago, it was at this price, and it dropped like a rock from there. So,
gosh, I mean, it looks tasty. That's
yeah, it really does.
So,
well, let us know in the chat who's brave enough to short this BLZ. I see Dev is saying BLZ is going to 235, so that's quite a target he's got there. Wild Coasting wants to see TRB. I've done some work on TRB for you guys. I'm going to pull it up now. I've got a 1 hour situation I'm looking at on this TRB.
Oh, me too. Cool.
Do you have TRB as well, Bruce?
I'm curious to see what you do. You go first.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this SR situation here. I love seeing these squeezy type situations. I love it when these alts come and do this and squeeze higher, and then they give me that pop, and then that pullback, and then we can load this thing up. So that's what I'm looking for on TRB. We just got to monitor it. I wanted this thing to come back to this trend first. Actually, that's where I was quite interested in a buy. I see it turned a little bit early, so let's see what we get out of this thing. But it's
exactly what I have.
Okay, awesome.
It's exactly. I'm waiting for it's on the last pump. I drew a fib on that last leg, and I'm looking for it basically to pull to 382.
Okay, so yeah, we're watching the same thing, guys. We want to see this resistance pop now, find support, and then TRB could potentially go again. I've dialed into the 1 hour, guys, which is, I don't always do the 1 hour, but TRB has moved so much. It's 14% up today, and I was just wondering if there was potentially another entry brewing. So if you want to trade TRB, that is how I'm looking at it. Could be something in it for you guys.
On the short time frame, I drew a trend on the 15-minute back to your trend line that you have there, and if it gets close to that, then I'm definitely going to take a shot at it, because what I like is the upside of it. It's 30% up to the next level almost.
Yeah, this little area here is quite nice to look.
Yeah.
So look, it could have legs, guys. It could have legs. It could have legs. Let's not be scared of the ones that pump nicely. I see 𝗏 is pumping again. That's Marcus's favorite token. Hopefully Marcus is still watching us here on YouTube. Marcus, if you're there, let's say how's it. But yeah, I see 𝗏 is moving nicely for you. Rodolfo says he's found his next short. Rodolfo, are you going to let us know?
Let's hear it.
Are you going to tell us what you have here? 𝗦𝗏𝗡𝗧𝗏 says WLD may be ready to break. So there's a few things we're going to look at here, guys. I don't want to lose track of everything. Crude we need to do. I think crude must be in our short area by now. We're going to take a look. Let's do stacks. I did say we needed to look at stacks. The stacks runs with BTC quite nicely. We saw last time BTC had a big move. I think BTC moved about 5 or 6% and stacks went 20%. So it is something you want to watch. You can see their charts look very similar. If we look at the stacks 4 hour, we looked at this. We looked at the BTC yesterday on the 4 hour too. Look at that; they're very similar looking charts, and you can see they like to ride together. Stacks has got resistance issues at this 50-day MA that I was talking about. Watch this area here. If we blow through that, we're going to look for support on the 618 at 0.507. So right now it's in a bit of an argument here. It's in a bit of a fight. Pullback areas for stacks, which should tie in with BTC pullbacks. Let's look at a trend. We're going to pull the trend. We're going to pull the horizontal that we have there, and we've got a 382 fib that we've got. It was the retracement fib. It was pulled from that high to that low, so it was a resistance fib that I pulled, and that you can see we had a nice reaction on that when BTC pulled back the other day. So let's consider that as our support. You can see why it looks like a nice juicy support zone over there. That's very nice and interesting. So if it does drift down, we can look for buys over there. You might want to dial in maybe a bit more if you feel BTC is going to go bullish here. You can look at a flag, maybe check out the 15-minute setups, guys. Maybe you get a flag there. But the big one I'm watching, guys, is the 618 and this 50-day MA. This is a big area. If stacks blows through that and gets support over here, I think I'd be keen to jump in there on stacks. So I'm gonna let this thing drop lower, or I'm gonna let it go higher before I jump into this guy. Let's look at this WLD. And Farhad is here. Yes, 𝗏𝗡𝗄 is hitting a nice reaction zone. I saw earlier it's pumping into resistance. We're going to look at it just now. WLD. Bruce and Dave, if you guys see any coins in the chat that you want to tackle, just let me know. Jump in when you're ready. I see WLD has lost trend. Okay, this is interesting. So this was very good to us for 2 days. Did well on Friday. I think we did well on Sunday. Now we've lost trend, guys. It's looking a little bit bearish here. So how do we deal with this thing? Okay, we've had this massive trend lost. I would say we are looking at moves up now for shorting based on what I'm seeing now. Let's create a bearish setup here, and I'll try and explain my thinking behind it. Here is a trend we can look at. Okay, so you can see I've got this old horizontal over here. You can see why this makes sense, this area. Okay, we've got trend. Let's see what we have in with regards to fibs. Let's pull a fib from that high to that low. Okay, and you can see I've got a 382. So suddenly this area on WLD, I keep calling it wild. Apologies, guys. It's Worldcoin. I don't know why I keep calling it wild. Yeah. So reaction area for me, 382 trend horizontal. So anything up to about 1.4 is starting to look like a shorty type zone for me. I don't know if you guys see it differently. If you do, let me know. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing here, especially after a move like that. So and then we do have the support over here that you can watch. This 1.311 is currently support.
Dylan, they asked about Cardano, and I've got that, and it actually is kind of interesting.
Cool. Give us some ADA there, Bruce.
Yeah, glad to. So Cardano, just go high time frame for half a sec, is been on this long downtrend. You can see this is the 50 50-day moving average, tracking it down. But it definitely found that this level over and over and over again, really respected it repetitively. It was all over there, came back up, rejected. And look what it did recently is that it just broke through. Let's put that up. You can see it. It just broke above that trend line. It broke above that resistance level that had been fighting forever. And it came back and it's retesting it. And it's drawn a perfect little trend that's heading upward. So this is actually interesting to find possibly on the next candle or two, if this thing pulls back just a little bit more on the lower time frame for me, that would be a really sweet setup for a long, probably up to the 200-day, the 50-day moving average. I mean, something like that would be pretty sweet, I think.
It's quite easy to deal with because we're now in this trend. We're in this uptrend, guys. So we start losing trends. We know we need to change the plan and change the strategy. But while things are green and rosy, let's make hay. Let's take advantage of what the market's giving us. I've just written some notes here.
Right, and blue 𝗕𝗂𝗿𝗄𝗓 says that Gareth says he's long on Cardano. So I guess we got that one right. So whoever brought that one up, thank you, because I'm going to put this on my list now. That looks really pretty.
Can anyone see in the chat if 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗍 has given us his short that he's trying to tee up here? I couldn't see it. I was looking for it now. Guys, we've got 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗍 says, nice work, Bruce. Okay, he likes it. JC wants to know about AVAX. So guys, I've just written a few tokens down that I want to run through with you. Dave, do you want to tackle OP, perp, or ZIL for us in the meantime? If you want to pull up one of those charts, you can start looking at that.
Okay, I'll grab both.
Dave, do you want to grab one of those as well? OP, perp, or ZIL? I'm going to pull up Casper and
I can do OP.
Okay. What do you got, Dave?
I'll do an OP.
Okay, I'll grab ZIL.
Okay, I'm bringing up Casper for you guys. What do you got there, Dave? Oh, you got OP already? Okay, cool. Cool.
So real quick, guys, I'm not in an OP position. I'm looking to enter a short. We talked about this last week at this order block at 147 to 150 area. We do have this break of trend. Not really doing too much with some of these other tokens, but again, I am looking for a level on Bitcoin 27.7, potential reaction there as far as a rejection. And that would kind of tie in with a potential OP move here. So not looking to touch this until we get this order block. Might be a potential long, or if you are in a long right now, you caught this little break of trend, you might be able to ride it up. But I would recommend taking profits right around here, or at least half off the board. If we blast through 27.7, my next target is 28.5, and so we'll see where that takes us. And then I still have a long alert down here in case we have some kind of red death candle. Looking to enter a long down here if we do get.
Still a hot zone down there.
Yeah, the red
dig
candle.
that area.
Well, those are my insights. Those are my 2 cents.
Nice. Okay, let me pull up this Casper situation, my nemesis. I like to talk about it. I don't like to trade it. I mean, if I trade Casper for a 4th time and get stopped out, am I the fool or is it a shitcoin? So I don't know. I don't know about touching this Casper situation again.
You take the 4th loss, that's whenever it's really going to plummet.
Yeah. After the 4th time, it's difficult. So guys, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to draw pretty pictures on Cas. I might not trade it. We'll just draw nice pictures for you. Unless Dave tells me, okay, this is it, and he's aping in, then I'm going to jump.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
We'll see how we go.
Give the warning on that.
Dylan, do you know the comic strip Snoopy, Peanuts, and Lucy with the football? Right? Every time she says, "Oh, kick the football, Charlie Brown," and he says, "No, I'm not going to kick the football because you're going to pull it out."
Does he?
And then he pulls it out, and that's you and Cass.
So guys, look, we'll draw nice pictures. So let me tell you what's going on here. This is the all-time high over there, if I'm not mistaken. This is a potential double top situation pushing into all-time high. You can see the alarms are here. I don't know if you guys would have got it yet. I see we've missed it by like 0.0001 for that alarm to bring your attention to CAS being in this major area. What do I like about CAS at the moment? Would I long it here? No, we are sitting at a major resistance zone. If we do get some kind of squeeze and this thing wants to blow up, you're going to have to dial into this CAS thing maybe on the 15 minutes, and you're going to have to look for that flag forming and see if we actually blow up through that area and then find support, and then we can take it higher. As far as support areas goes, I'm still looking at this 382, and you can see what I've done here. I pulled this 382 from this low over here. I pulled it to the high, and you can see how it ties in so beautifully with some horizontal. So, you know, to me, that looks like a nice bounce zone. If we do get some more downside, I would look for a potential long there. With David's guidance, David's going to be like, I'm longing this area. Then I'll jump into that area. So, yeah, guys, right now, CAS is at resistance and it's all-time high situation. I would assume there's a couple of shorts piling up here at the moment. So the last time we got to all-time high levels on CAS, we actually had a massive squeeze. It ran probably another 20-30%. So if people think they are super smart shorting at all-time highs with CAS, they might get trapped again. So let's see how it plays out. It's been a tricky one for me. It's just been, you know, something that's done 7,000% in a year. It's been a tricky one to trade, especially when I got on the wrong side of it, that short that last time. So, yeah, I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to wait and see what happens. There might be a long brewing if we break up and find support for me there on CAS.
I got Zill if you want. Someone asked about it.
Yes, give us some Zill there, please.
This is starting to look familiar. Like you talked about, you know, here's a long trend that it's been under forever, and it broke it. And here's the 50-day moving average coming up to meet it. I mean, I see this pattern all over the place, like you mentioned when we started. Basically, it's been consolidating in this region for quite some time, and it deviated down a little bit. For those of you that know Wyckoff, the Wyckoff spring, this is very typical. It basically comes down, grabs liquidity down here, pops back over support and resistance, retests it, and then starts going from there. You'll see this over and over and over again with token patterns, chart patterns. But right now, it's formed we're on something else.
No, we back at you. Hold on. There you
okay.
go.
Sorry, the screen changed for a second. So basically broke above resistance. That's now support. We tested it. It's breaking up from it. So it's kind of in the middle right now. So a couple possibilities if you want to be trading this is let it come back to the trend line. That's option A. Or what I would personally prefer is to see it break above that high right there. Right? That'd be real comfortable to see it break above that high, then come back and retest. And I'll bet you that intersects with that. So it breaks above that high, breaks above the 50-day moving average, and then comes back and retests right there. That would be a higher confidence long right there. And you're looking to recapture at least that liquidity that's right there, which means you're looking at something like, that's 15, 17%. That'd be pretty sweet.
Look, we saw in 2021, and I mean what Zill can do when their community and everything gets involved. So, you know, it's been incredibly boring to watch for the last couple of months for me. I mean, I always update this thing in Discord, and like I need to like poke it with a stick. It doesn't want to move. Nope. But something like this can out of nowhere, guys. It can just explode. Same way Filecoin can do these things. So yeah, definitely, you know, keep your eyes on this Zill. I know this watch list is growing. You guys hear me tell you a lot. Keep your eyes on this, but you know, build that watch list. Zill can rip. Zill can absolutely rip. Filecoin can absolutely rip. And then it's quite interesting, guys, that we're seeing a lot of these old school alts are now the ones that tie in nicely with BTC, and they're actually quite fun to trade when BTC is moving in a nice bullish way, because we get these nice pushes from BTC. Then we get pullbacks onto corresponding fibs and supports, and it's actually a really fun trading scenario when BTC is bullish. And then obviously we need to identify the ones that don't run with BTC. And what can we see? We saw TRB, we saw 𝗬𝗏, WLD is doing its thing. I see GMX is doing its thing independently. So yeah, there's lots of options sort of all around that we can play with. But I love trading these alts with BTC. It's just I really enjoy it.
One of the other things to keep in mind is the fact that, you know, we've been so wrapped up in this obnoxious market for the last year and a half that we forget perspective. I mean, just look at the chart right now. Here's the 3-day chart. In the grand scheme of things, where are we? We're nowhere. I mean, we see a little bump and we get all excited about it. But this, when the bull market happens, this is what's in our future. Got to be ready for it.
Guys, here's AVAX. We had a request for AVAX. It's actually been very annoying as well, but we do know that AVAX, as far as I know, the AVAX development team, they actually are working on this. It is still a project, from what I understand. Maybe anyone, Rodolfo or somebody in the chats there wants to just tell us what's going on there with AVAX. But what have we got? We've got a trend. We've got some horizontal here on the daily that we're watching. But AVAX has been very sad. So,
Dylan, you're showing my chart still.
Oh, sorry. I'm here talking about AVAX, staring at mine.
Okay.
There we go. So AVAX has been pretty sad at this at these levels. We've actually printed new lows from this side. So I'm going to zoom out for you shortly. I've got an alarm here on Discord for this 9.5 level that we need to keep our eyes on. It is a hell of a lagger. Does that mean we might get some massive pump later? Well, potentially. Look where this 50-day MA is, guys. I just want to bring this to your attention. It becomes a target. You've seen things like Link hit this thing. We've seen loads of other alts hit the 50-day, hit the 200. So I'm kind of digging around looking for some of these alts with potential moves still to these 50 days. And AVAX could be one of them on the table, but it's very quiet at the moment. But when people start firing up the longs on things like AVAX, Fantom, it's going to get interesting. You can see this level. Look at that. This is the weekly. This is AVAX weekly. We've lost this major area here, 9.3. So now we're in proper bear country down here. And if we zoom out, look at this thing. I've got another alarm at 7.3. So if AVAX get to 7.3, I think BTC is in a lot of trouble. So it's not really something we want to see unless we're sitting in shorts, and then we can laugh about it. But anyone who's long AVAX, well, 7.3 is looking like the next area on BTC weakness. Other than that, we want to see this move up. I see we've got an alarm hitting here. ATOM has hit. Let's take a look at ATOM. So as far as AVAX is concerned, we want to see it break up this old resistance. 9.4 to 9.5 is an area we need to get through, and then we can ride it up to that 50-day MA. Let's take a look why this ATOM alarm has gone off.
Looks like a short, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, 50-day MA. Okay, so there's some juice into ATOM, guys. Look at this. So this is exactly my example of these alts. Some of them are front running, and we need to start looking at this 50-day MA seriously and look at it as a target for these potential alts. This is a major resistance area now for ATOM. Those of you that follow ATOM in the Discord, you can see I've been playing this literally step by step. And here we are today, 50-day MA, horizontal. So what do we do now? If you are bearish on this current situation and you believe BTC is not holding these levels, you cannot get a better entry for an ATOM short. If you think that this is it for BTC, the high has been printed, then that's that. If you bullish ATOM and you're looking for an entry, well, this is not your entry. You need to now wait. If you want to be long, you are now long into resistance. It's tricky. So you need to now let this thing break up. We want to see support. Again, guys, it's a simple formula we got here. We break through big areas. We look for support on big areas. Then we can long that support. So just be a little bit patient on ATOM if it's something you want to get involved in. The bears, this is your zone. Right now, this is your time to shine. Anyone who wants to short, big resistance, 50-day, horizontal. We'll probably find some fibs in there as well. If you want to be short, I don't want to short ATOM here. I'm a bull by heart, and BTC's had a nice little bounce, so my eyes are on BTC here. It's pushing nicely on this candle. If BTC starts ripping here, I don't want to be on the wrong side of any else at the moment. So I'll be sitting out of an ATOM short there. My ATOM chart's not missing. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I could do DOT next. I saw somebody asked about that.
Give us. He says thanks for AVAX. Yeah, sure, no problem, guys. Just keep sending. We're gonna do DOT for you. I see we've got Acro coming through. Dave, I'm adding your screen.
Okay.
Cool.
Acro.
Jane says she's not getting alarms. Okay, so this is a good test, guys. If you are on the Discord, you would have got that ATOM alarm, because I said that earlier today. So let us know in the chats if you've got it. Let us know if you didn't get it. It might be a setting in your Discord under your notifications. You might have to allow some permissions and things like that.
So just a quick cover on DOT. You can see this monthly level that we talked about a few weeks ago, and it's now like it seems to be acting as resistance. But with this potential upside to Bitcoin, I have a personal alert set at 4.297 as a short area. You can see a couple order blocks here as well. So this red line here is the scenario I'm looking for. So if Bitcoin gets to 27.7 rejection, that might tie in with this, or even 28.5. So we'll see how it plays out, but not in a position, just waiting. Very simple.
I see we got a lot of responses here. Got the alarm. Raphael, what has got the alarm, stoners? Tell us what tell us what you're trying to say here, bro. Jerry wants to know where the alarms show up. Jerry, if you're in the Banter Discord and a VIP, you have access to all this amazing stuff we're doing. We've even got an altcoin gem section where Simon, our indicator wizard, is posting research and his personal research and views on some of these gems that you've never heard of. He found CAS early days. He found 𝗬𝗓𝗄. He found so many of these things that have pumped thousands of percent. So we've got a little altcoin gem section there. We've got indicator trades. We've got our charts. We've got our setup. Bruce is slamming out trades. David's popping trades in there. He did 𝗕𝗏 for you guys. I'm sure that was in the Discord, guys. You would have got 𝗕𝗏 yesterday. So it's all happening in there. You just need to be a VIP to get access to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this is good news. I mean, there's a lot of people in the chats here saying they got their alarms. Abel says the alarm's like magic. It is magic, because we're pinging you. We're doing the work for you. We're pinging you in these like high impact zones, and then you can make your decisions. You the last thing you want to do is be long or short in the middle of a range or in the wrong area. And we are helping you. We're sending you to these areas, and we're saying, okay, this is resistance, this is support, major resistance, things like that. And it's here to help you guys. So, you know, if you don't have it, get it going, get it on. Mike wants to see.
I got that Acro thing if you wanted to take a look at it.
Yeah, please, Bruce.
Sure.
I'm adding your screen.
So speaking about the middle of a range, that's kind of where it is right now. I've never seen this token before, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Had a nice up push there. This is the 8-hour chart, by the way, which was really sweet. Reached to find a couple levels, one there and right there. It's then retraced back down, formed a really clear trend line. It deviated above it for half a second, but it broke down below it. And it just seems to be fighting this area. I think it's got a couple weak green candles right over there. But what I'm noticing more than anything is it's exactly right between the that resistance and that support level, and there's not much major in between. So I would just say hold off and see what it does for a little bit. If it comes down to this area, we might be setting up for a nice long there. We're talking about, let's see what it's worth. We're talking, this is pretty big. That's a pretty big area. So yeah, if it comes down to major support area, that might be worth looking at. The only other thing I can think of is to go into shorter and shorter time frames to catch smaller moves. But right now, this just seems in the middle of nowhere.
I see Raphael's long atom. Hopefully you got a boss entry lower down at one of those great areas that we were looking at earlier. So that's awesome. Jano wants to know why the XRP short. So Jano, Simon uses our 𝗦𝗔𝗍𝗍𝗍. He's exceptionally good at using these 𝗦𝗔𝗍𝗍𝗍 indicators. It's like his niche. His charts are in the Discord. You can look at them. He explains his reasoning behind it. And it prints long, it prints shorts, and it printed a 4-hour XRP short. So that's why we raised it. We're just bringing it to your attention. Go look in the Discord, make your own decision. Take a look at it, see if it ties in with your TA and what you're doing. Yeah, his work's pretty accurate, guys, and he's supplying it in that Discord all the time. So take a look, see if it's something you agree with. If it is, take the trade. If not, sit it out or fade it. Ryan wants to know, how do you join VIP? You need any of the banter links. We'll get you guys sorted. There should be a couple of links in our Discord. Otherwise, if you're part of the school, you have access to VIP. There's a lot going on here, guys. We're building some awesome stuff for you. Okay.
By the way, someone just called out to us that unfi we described earlier is breaking. So any of you took it?
Well, there it goes. There it goes, guys. There you go. Nice. This market's looking bullish. Atom is looking super bullish here. Atom looks like it wants to rip. Let's pull up Rune for the guys. I've got a request for Rune. I mean, this Atom is looking beast mode here. Let's take a look at BTC. BTC's nice. Still nice. Still nice. MATIC's going again. Sol's okay. Sol's okay. Sol's okay. GRT's okay. Here's Rune. Okay. So Rune is mid-range. So we need to dial in. If you're looking for entries on Rune on 8-hour, 12-hour daily, it's either higher or it's lower. Okay. If we want to dial in and look for scalpy type moves, we can dial in. Let's take a look. Let's get a clean Rune chart for you. Okay, this is Rune 15 minutes. This is the KuCoin chart. So, one of the ways you can go about it is you can look for trends on these lower time frames, and you can play the trend break game, and you can try and catch these little moves. What have we got here? We've got a rising trend from over here. You can look at that. This is quite a sharp trend we're dealing with at the moment, this one. So you could play that game. Again, your best entries, guys, are always the main pullbacks to these major supports first. Then you get the trend breaks and the retest, and that gives you that next sort of top up type entry. Let's see what type of move we got here. A little bit of a 618. If we pull it from there, a little bit of maybe 786 here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, a little bit of a 786 bounce there. So again, the same patterns play out, and these fibs play out all the time on all these different time frames. So if you've got the time and the patience, and you're trading these 15-minute things, it's the same setups. It's just it holds less weight for me. So for me, it's the bigger time frames. I know these areas are much stronger. If I get a drop on a 786 that I've pulled on a daily over 2 months, I know it's a strong zone. If it's tying in with horizontals and trends. If you get a drop on a 786 that drops into a 15 minutes, well, cool, it might get a reaction, but I don't have like super high conviction on it. But the principle is all the same. So if you want to jump into a Rune situation, well, here's a trend for you guys. Here's a trend break. You can look for that. As far as stops go, well, you want to look at the lows, and these are the areas you'd look at. And remember, guys, if you're trading these 15-minute setups and things like that, and you're getting stopped out, and you zoom out on the bigger picture, and you actually say, look, I've now taken 3 or 4 trades today, and I've been stopped out on these 15 minutes, just zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture, and you'll probably find it hasn't even got to the main areas yet. And if you just sat back and had one trade and used the bigger areas and waited for better entries, higher or lower, and just shown a little bit of patience, you're not going to deal with that 3 or 4 stops on the 15-minute candles, and you can go about your stuff and get your day going if you don't have time to be stuck in front of the screen, obviously. Okay, Fawaz needs Tomo from Bruce. I think Bruce needs to give us Tomo. We've got 𝗦𝗂𝗍𝗍𝗂𝗧 saying Lido, LDO, cup and handle. 𝗦𝗂𝗍𝗍𝗂𝗧. We're going to take a look at 𝗦𝗂𝗍𝗍𝗂𝗧. While I do Lido, Bruce, do you want to start looking at your Tomo chart? If it's ready, let me know. Oh, look at Lido. There we go.
Anytime.
Okay, let me just finish this Lido. Guys, you can see Lido 50-day MA is locked in. Look at this thing. We're coming for it. So this is now the daily. So you guys saw me drawing a trend on Rune 15 minutes. Well, here's the same principle on the daily. Just these areas are obviously a lot stronger. So here's Lido now. You saw classic break of trend, classic retest, guys. Look for these that haven't done this yet. If this market stays bullish, you can be early on some of those others as well. Right now, Lido is running, so I can't say this is now a great area to be long. Unless you are spot and you have a longer term view on things, then this is not a bad area. But if you are trading leverage, you know, we like to look for more precision, tighter zones. And for me, the buy would have been on that retest at 1.485. That sort of area is where you want to look. Right now, Lido is now going to push into a 50-day MA and resistance. So you need to just be a little bit cautious here. That's an area you need to watch. We've got some work to do here for Lido over there. We've also got some work to do over here for Lido. So there's a lot going on here. So just exercise a bit of caution. Maybe look for a level by level play. You can dial in a little bit if you want to play the flag game. But right now you can see on this 8-hour candle, that's a strong candle. So if, for example, you wanted to be long Lido and you jumped in now, look at the depth of this candle here. You've already got 2.6% to the bottom of that candle. And then you've got 7% to that next one. So that's why we put so much emphasis on nailing these entries in these good areas first so that we're not behind the game. Okay, so the move for Lido now, for me, is either a pullback to trend. So we're going to see there's going to be a trend here. So you want to look for a pullback to trend that's hopefully going to tie in with fibs and things like that. So let's look for that. Let's pretend this is the high of the move. Okay, I'm making an assumption now that that's the top of the move. So there's a 382. Okay, so look for something along those lines potentially as a pullback. Or you want to look for something like that. You want to break up and you want to start finding support. And then that could be a potential buy.
Yeah, that looks really good. I've just set mine right there at 153, the 382.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a nice area there. Yeah. Okay, cool. Bruce, you got some Tomo action for us here?
Sure do. So speaking of alarms, Tomo messed with me yesterday. I said we were up here yesterday, and I said, yeah, we're going to come down to this pretty clear support area, and when we get down here, we'll be setting up for a long. So I set an alarm before that, right? I set an alarm there at 1.827, and look where price came to. It came to like a couple pennies away from that and never triggered the alarm. So,
but this is looking quite juicy here.
Yes, and that's what I was about to pull up, is the fact that came up, rejected with a lower high, rejected with a lower high. It's up again. So we're actually at a pretty good area to take a short, and you can put in a 1% stop on it just above that high right over there. The caveat with Tomo is always that do not be surprised if it pulls one of these things first, right? So you might set this up and just you might get one of those comes right back here, and then you have to re-enter. Or it's just going to behave itself. It's just one of the things Tomo often does. But I think this is a pretty good entrance right there.
I mean, and it's important, guys. Like, you need to figure out what type of stop loss strategy works for you. A lot of guys don't mind sweating out a position if they have conviction that it's going down, for example, and they'll have a nice wide stop and they'll ladder into their position. Some people want to be tight 15 minutes with a 0.3% stop, but then your risk is obviously getting stopped out maybe multiple times before you hit your winner. So you need to just play with what works for you. But, you know, in crypto, we know we get these big wicks. And how often have you been stopped? Even allowing 1%, you get stopped out. You come back later. You think you're still good. and you're out of your position and this thing's run. So it's really something you need to work out for yourself, and it comes with practice, obviously, in trading and understanding how you react personally to your stuff. Bruce, what is your typical stop loss, for example, on a Tomo setup?
Well, with any setup, I determine a place that it's invalid. In other words, to me, if this trade is going up there, I want to get out of it because it's invalid. So I pick a point where that's either a trend line or a last lower high, and I'll go, you know something, if it goes above that level, then my short is invalid. And what I do is I set my stop loss. The first thing I set on a trade is the stop. I set it on the other side of that, give it a little bit of room. So this would be about 1.13%. And the thing is, I do my risk management, that if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. Whoopie-doo, I don't have to worry about it. I lose a little bit of money, I get back into better entrance and make up for it. Because if I lose 1% and it jumps 2% away and I get a better entrance, I make that extra 1% coming back. So the first thing I do is step
remember, Bruce, thank you for that. And guys, remember, getting stopped is part of the game. There's no such thing as like somebody's nailing 10 out of 10 trades. They're talking absolute rubbish.
As a matter of fact, I was going to say that you should be grateful for that, because that saves you, right? Thank you, stop loss. You saved me from losing more money.
Yeah. So as long as you're smart about your areas and it's not a wasted trade, like if you lose a trade because you've been reckless and you get stopped out because you chose a shitty area, well, that's on you, you know. But if you have a system that chooses great setups and you stick to your rules with strong areas, and then you know your stop is whatever, 2%, 3%, whatever that is, and you lose that trade, well, at least you know it's a good trade, right? You followed your system, you had your high conviction zone. If you randomly going out there taking positions, getting stopped out and not learning from it, well, you know, then that's a different story, guys.
Anyway, so this is a decent area to enter, right over there. I'm going to take it as soon as we're done with the show. Give it a shot.
Hey guys, so Bruce is short, Tomo shortly.
Shortly, that's right.
Shortly. He's going to be short. We had a comment about 𝗫 that I showed you guys now. We looked at 𝗫 on Sheldon's show earlier today, and this might be one of these laggers that is worth considering. You see how far behind this 50-day MA this 𝗫 situation is. So again, guys, fundamentally, I'm not too familiar with what 𝗫 is doing as a project. I do believe it's a layer 1, but that's kind of where my knowledge on 𝗫 ends. I don't follow it. I don't follow anything about 𝗫 on Twitter. But look, 50-day MA 6% is away. So I would say if this thing does start moving, we're looking for a pop rejection at the 50-day, then a rebuy, and then we can go. So that is something to watch. If you believe in 𝗫 and you think the market will pump this 𝗫 situation on bullish BTC, and their stop zones 1.058, and the low is 1.0, call it 1.02. So those are the type of areas you can look at. Ideally, this is daily, so this is low leverage stuff, guys. This is spot low leverage situations. We're not trading little moves here. 𝗫 conference coming in November. So guys, 𝗫 conference in November, that might give somebody a reason to do something. There might be some news coming. So Crispy Boy says 𝗫 is bullish. So there you go, guys. That's 𝗫 looking good. CFX, we've got a comment about CFX. Paolo loves the sound. That's awesome, man. Great. Thoughts on render? Mr. Bucky, I think we covered render, but let's look at it again quickly for you. Render is now mid-range. We had the best entries, guys. We broke this 50-day MA, came back, retested the 50-day MA, which is coming to the party now all the time. Watch it on these other coins. Perfect retest, 1.53 for render. Right now, there's no long here. Right now, this is now mid-range. It needs to do its thing. I want to see render up here, or I want to see render back down here before I look at anything else on it. And that's for the time frame that I look at, guys. I'm not saying there's not 50-minute setups and things like that happening. Wild Coasting is saying LDO coming into resistance. Yes, could be. Yeah. That's. I think we were looking at Lido. We were saying it's pushing into a resistance zone. Kelvin wants to see Filecoin. Let's look at file. File's looking nice. Look at that. Look at that. So we did discuss this the other day because I gave this stop area, this 3.2, as something to look at. I don't know, guys. It might have been last week sometime. I'm not actually sure. But I see, yeah, this move was on Sunday. So maybe it was yesterday. Could have been. So this is still the low that I look at, 3.22. We've got a nice strong candle here. If you dial in, you'll probably find there's a nice little flag building here for Filecoin. What I would expect from File is a proper reaction here, guys. 618 50-day MA, and this is why I've got an alarm set for you on the Discord. You can see here horizontal as well, so that's a reaction area for me. So I'm going to set this one out for File. Let's see if we get a reaction there. That could be a nice party for the bears. Otherwise, we want to see it pop up, get support again, and then we can ride that one up. Okay, so that's a nice little plan for File. I think File and Zill, if things turn bullish, you just keep it on your watch list. I'm not saying, you know, just have it there. One day we're going to sit here and File's pumped 40% or something. Okay, cool. So, ladies. Somebody keeps asking for ladies. Is this 10,000 ladies? Is that the one they're asking for?
What's her nickname now?
10,000 ladies. Okay, look at this, guys. 50-day MA again. Hello. $786. I remember this thing doing stuff on the 786 before. Look at that. Okay. 10,000 ladies likes the 786. Could be a move there. Could be a move. Could be a move. Could be a move. That's all I've got for you though. 8 hour. 4 hour. Let's see if we got a trend. Yeah. Woo. Whew. I don't know. It's looking quite spicy, this thing.
Oh, wow.
Looking quite spicy. We got a 786 and we got a trend and we got horizontal. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Whew. Guys, is it 10,000 ladies, trend, 786, horizontal, yeah, possible long, yeah. Possible long, yeah. I like this. Who brought that up? Augustine. Yeah. Okay, so there's a possible setup there for you guys. Cake. Do we even do cake anymore? Isn't that a BNB problem situation? AGIX cake. I think that's Binance, their DEX or something. Okay, so yeah, Ed said ladies as the tokens, perps is 10,000 ladies. Doge breakout. Wow, well, Sheldon's making money then. Let's take a look. Oh, Injective is going again. Jeez, guys, it's so, you just enjoy these green moments. They've been quite few and far between the last few months. Oh, here we go. Here comes Doge. Oh my God, here we go. Okay, guys, it's on. Bull market is back. This is so cool. I told you the other day, if Sheldon's calling Doge, something's going to happen. And last time I didn't take that Doge trade, and I FOMO'd into this one with Sheldon, and I must say I'm quite happy. This thing is moving now. Okay, so guys, bull market traders, eh? Woo! Sheldon knows his stuff. Okay, so target for Doge 0.064. Looks like it's locked on now. Okay, and guys, don't say you didn't know about this. We've been calling this for a few days. I think I showed this yesterday. We spoke about it on Sheldon's show. It's all over his show tiles. So if you weren't aware of this, well, here it is now. And Doge might be on its way. So this is very exciting.
Yeah.
And Sheldon
talked about it on our show yesterday. Yeah.
So I'm very happy for him. That's going to be power. Okay, AGIX, guys, and then I think we need to wrap this up. Let's just look at AGIX quickly. Okay, we've got 50-day and trend incoming. So we got resistance zone coming. Look here. So we had this nice trend coming up here. We had that nice trend locked in, failed. Look at that, retest, down. Okay, so now we've come back. We've rejected a trend and horizontal. Let's look at this quickly. Look at that. So that's a resistance area. Okay, so next area is this trend and 50-day. So I'm just going to extend that. I would look out for this as a possible zone. So look for a pop, look for a rejection, and then a possible move higher. That's probably the best way to play this. Let's see if we've got a trend here. Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, AGIX is going to move. And I think, remember guys, AGIX is AI. So if you see AI tokens, you go GRT, you go Ocean, you go Fetch, AGIX. Those are, you know, they run, if the AI narrative's moving, they move together. So always try and have a list of tokens. You don't have to have all of them, obviously, but just have your go-to list of AI tokens. Have your go-to list of gaming tokens that you play in these situations. Spicy Sauce wants to see file. We've literally just done file. So if you go back like 3 or 4 minutes, you'll see Filecoin is there. Okay, guys, I think we need to wrap this up. There's been tons of setups, tons of tokens we've looked at. Hopefully you guys got what you were looking for. And the good news is we are going to be back here again, doing it all over again tomorrow. Just for you. So if we get rejections, we're here to sort out new entries tomorrow. If we get pumps, we're looking for shorts again. Who knows? Like, it's going to be fun. Just come around tomorrow. We'll be here for you. And yeah, thanks everybody for the support.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks guys.
We are going to see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Dave.
Jump forward, everybody.
Thanks,
guys, later.